I want to talk about Cam Newton. We talked about this a little bit during the week. Cam Newton went to the Patriots. There was a lot of debate on whether he, was he going to start right away? Would Stidham still get a spot? I know Matt and I went back and forth on some of the terminology that the Patriots chose to use after signing him. So Cam came out about the money because there was a big thing on social media and in the media itself about Cam Newton signing for such a little bit amount of money. Because typically, if none of his incentives are made, he's looking $1.1 million for a guy who was the MVP a few years back. So here's what Cam had to say. He said it's not a lot of things money cannot buy, but amongst them, top of those lists, you wouldn't find respect. This is not about money for me. It's about respect. He said it's not about the money. It's about respect. Now, going over, so here's what the deal is, okay? He got 1-year deal that reportedly included $550,000 in guaranteed money. His base salary is $1.05 million, which is the league minimum. He can earn an extra $6.5 million by hitting all of the incentives in his contract. Newton's coming off of back-to-back injury-plagued seasons. Now, I didn't expect Cam Newton, and this time I'll start with Mac. I didn't expect Cam Newton to come and say something stupid, because right off the bat, the Patriots don't play that game.
Well, not only that, I mean, he signed a deal. He didn't have to sign the deal. That was his decision.
Right, but if he would have come and made a statement that sounded like he was unhappy with it, the Patriots have no problem just cutting bait with somebody.
Well, Jim, listen, again, as we talked about before on Cam Newton, he wanted to be a starting quarterback for a team. He didn't want to be backup. He didn't want to – and teams with young quarterbacks didn't want him there, having them look over the shoulder at Cam Newton right behind him, ready to jump in as soon as they mess up. So the Patriots were really the only team that said, okay, you can come in here and you can compete for this starting job, and it could be your team. And that's why Newton went to the Patriots. If he has a great year, we'll see what happens. He'll make his money. He'll do whatever. If he's still injury-plagued and he can't throw the ball like he used to, then we'll see that too. He probably won't get the starting job. But at least it gives him a shot to do what he wants to do, to compete for a starting quarterback. And, being a Super Bowl player, MVP, one of the best running quarterbacks in the league for a few years, I mean, he deserves respect. But he's still got to play now, and he's still got to show that he's not injured and that he can make the throws.
Well, that was the problem that bothered me the most about it, is that people like Richard Sherman and other people come out and say disgusting, and he got paid a little less, and it's like, well, with all due respect, Cam Newton hasn't done that well the last 2 years. So you're asking the league to pay him on what he did 3 or 4 years ago? Who does that? I mean, you don't pay someone based on what they did 3 years ago. You're as good as your last season. That's just the way it is.
Fact of the matter is, there are 52 quarterback contracts in the NFL worth more than what Cam Newton will be getting paid this coming year. Mm-hmm. And if you tell me that there's anything okay with that, just because he had a down year last year, he played 2 games, right?
No, he had two injury back-to-back years where he
was hurt, but he still played 15 games. Mm-hmm. The year before, he still played 15 games hurt. Mm-hmm. All right. We saw him short-arming the ball. We saw him not torquing his hips. We saw him having to adjust his throwing motion because of the shoulder injury. He had no range of motion for his throws. Yet they kept throwing him out there. They kept running option plays. They kept running RPOs. They didn't protect him. He went down for them, and then they sacrificed. They said they threw him out. All right. I've never been a big fan of Cam Newton, but I've always been a fan of his game because I believe that he's one of those players, like he's a giant man. He's huge. He's built like a brick outhouse. All right. The dude can run. He can throw. He can make every throw. Touch, velocity, everything. When the game is on the line, we've seen him come back, bring his team back, score at the end. Let me tell you, he's going to provide a culture shock in New England is what it's going to be. It's going to be a culture shock, and I just have a feeling, man, that he's going to come in there and he's going to wake that team back up, and they're going to do some big things. They're going to make some noise. Him coming into the AFC East really just put the ball back in the Patriots' court, in my opinion. He's going to have a great year.
Well, I'm going to come on a different angle from this and stay away from the contract and give one of those predictions that I love to give, that Cam Newton will not finish the season as the Patriots starting quarterback. My opinion, write it down, hate on me, go on Facebook. Stidham's better. I think Cam Newton's career is finished. So Cam Newton, go to New England. That's just my opinion. This is my opinion. Cam Newton, I feel like he's injury prone. I feel like there's a lot of injury prone. I feel like there's a lot of damage to the shoulder. And that's my biggest concern. I don't want to take anything away because I'm not hating on Cam Newton, the person. I'm talking about what his injuries have made him into. You give me Cam Newton 4 years ago, I'll take him over.
Bro, we've seen guys come back from way worse shoulder injuries.
I understand. But for every guy we've seen come back off of injuries, we've also seen guys who never get it back. So we've seen it both ways. I just feel like I really hope he does well. Good for the man. Maybe he goes out, has a great season, gets a killer contract next year, which he will if he plays well. But I just worry about that shoulder. I saw a lot of concerning things. Everyone says he's healthy. Al says he's healthy. But here's the thing. If Cam Newton is so healthy and everybody feels so great about Cam Newton, forget what three of us say. We're just talking sports. If everybody loves Cam Newton and he's so healthy, why did no team want him? Because
only a handful needed him. There was only a couple that needed him.
The Patriots wouldn't have signed him either if it wasn't for him taking such a low ball deal. So you're going to tell me that Cam Newton, you're going to tell me that when we get later in the season, closer to the season, and we come and we do our 32 quarterback breakdown list, you're going to tell me Cam Newton's going to be in your bottom three?
Bottom three?
No, right? You're not going to, when we rank quarterbacks, is Cam Newton going to be somewhere from 30 to 32 for you? No, right?
No.
Be higher. So that tells you that he's better than a lot of those guys. But yet nobody wanted him. So
it's not that nobody wanted him. It's the fact of nobody had the right place. Cam Newton is a quarterback. You have to put him in the right place, in the right system, with the right people. Where was Cam Newton gonna go? Name a team outside of Jacksonville or outside of
Carolina.
Outside of Jacksonville. No, not even Carolina. He was just in Carolina.
I know, but I'm just saying. You're just saying, where could he have played? He could have played at Carolina still. They didn't have to draft.
Carolina has their guy, man. Carolina has their guy with Allen.
Saying they didn't have to cut him.
They didn't have to get him. They didn't have to get him. Listen, Matt, I agree with a lot you're saying there right now, and you too, Jim. But let me tell you something. Cam Newton wanted to be a starting quarterback. That's what it was. His injuries, teams were scared of him. No team with a young quarterback wanted Cam Newton there. And I don't blame him if you're going to try to develop a quarterback. But there are teams out there that have okay quarterbacks that Cam Newton could have gone and played with. Jacksonville's one. He could have stayed with Carolina. I mean, listen, there are a few teams out there with average quarterbacks. All right, that's it. Miami could have brought him in, and two would come behind him.
Newton's not better than Fitzpatrick.
There are teams out there that could have went and got him, but they didn't. And that has to be because of the shoulder, and that has to be because he wanted to be a starting quarterback.
I'm concerned about the shoulder, and I think that his injuries will crop up. It's a bad one to the throwing shoulder, and that he won't finish the season. It has nothing to do with him as the person. It's just him as the quarterback. And you bring up an interesting point. There are other teams he could have gone to, but I bring up an interesting point to Richard Sherman, because Richard Sherman just commenting because he loves to run his mouth when he can. He's always been that kind of guy. I bring an interesting point to Richard Sherman. Is it possible? Did you ever think about the possibility that maybe Cam Newton was offered more money to go somewhere else as a backup and said no because he wants to start?
Could have.
That's totally possible.
Could have, but the fact that Cam Newton, how quickly we forget. Cam Newton was terrorizing the NFL a few years ago. They had no solution for him. Okay, when he won that MVP, think about it. You guys can think back and what? Cam Newton was considered the best quarterback in the NFL his MVP year, and then guess what? He took a beating. He's not going to take that kind of beating in New England. He's not. My concern in New England is obviously he has no one to throw the ball to. That's a big deal. That matters.
What's his face? What's the scruffy guy that Brady always
Edelman?
Yeah, they still got Scruffy.
Edelman said, he's getting old, man. Edelman's getting old, and
he just lets it out.
Yeah, man. Edelman's getting old. I actually had to trim this thing up the other day, man. It was getting out of control. It was rubbing up against the mic and everything. But I thought he was going to go like Justin said. I had thought the Chargers would have been a great fit as opposed to Tyrod Taylor. And I thought that, I'm drawing just a blank. The Patriots, from the get-go, I thought he was going to go to the Patriots. And we had talked about this. I told you guys the Patriots are going to be the move. Man, look, they got to give him a chance. You can't let a talent like that, a guy with that kind of ability, not get another chance just because he's been hurt for a couple of years.
Well, he's got.
Go ahead, Jim.
No, I was going to say he's got one, and I was going to say I want to make sure that all the people, because I see some people showing some love for Cam. I got Matt showing some love. I hope y'all draft him if y'all sign up for the Big Guy Sports Fantasy Football League that we're starting soon, because I don't want to see Cam Newton go undrafted till the 9th round when y'all are in here talking about how great he is. And if I see somebody draft Stidham before Newton, I'm putting it all over Facebook.
And remember the saying, remember the Alamo, right? That was a cry to put people, to feel good about going to war and stuff with Mexico. Well, remember Drew Brees, all right? Remember Drew Brees with that bad shoulder nobody wanted, and New Orleans signed him, and he became one of the greatest quarterbacks stats-wise in the history of the NFL. So there is always that chance that Newton is healthy, and if he is, the Patriots are definitely, in my opinion, they're the favorite to win that division.
Absolutely.
Oof, how quickly y'all throw the Bills to the side. You don't. He doesn't like Josh Allen anyway, Matt. So I don't care.
I like Josh Allen. Mac is the one that said he can't hit water falling out of a boat. It wasn't me. I didn't say that.
That was Mac. Mac don't like Josh Allen. So all the way, the Bills just went. Phew. I got stuff from Bills fans yesterday, courtesy of Justin. He told me that the Bills fans say I don't talk enough about the Bills, even though we're in New York, so they don't.
Well, we just did.
He didn't talk.
They're jumping through tables. What are we going to tell them about? We can't tell. They're busy in Buffalo right now. Leave them alone. Let them do their thing. They're basically Canada anyway.
The Bills are going to be good. Keep it.
No, they will be good. They will be good. That's going to be a really competitive division, man. Listen, now you look at that division now. Patriots, Jets, Bills, Miami Dolphins. That's going to be a really, really competitive division.
There's a Patriots, the Jets finish in last place. I hate to say it.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, very much so.
Miami,
especially if Cam Newton comes in there.
You know how much money Miami spent this offseason on defense?
A lot. I think Miami's going to be really good.
I do too.
Sleeper squad.
They are a sleeper squad.